Welcome to CMO Playbook. I'm David Freeman, and I created this program to be the in-house alternative to business development training and coaching. CMO Playbook is a DVD-based training program that features up to 28 experts in law firm business development. I chose a faculty of highly regarded chief marketing officers, in-house business development specialists, consultants, trainers, and coaches who share hundreds of time-tested best practices for becoming exceptional rainmakers. Just one or two of their ideas, if well implemented, can mean millions of dollars in new revenue to a firm. We've also incorporated new findings in brain science and adult learning to ingrain the skills and move lawyers into action. CMO Playbook contains 7 core modules, plus 1 specialty program for laterals. There is finding niches and developing your strategy, growing networks and staying memorable, obtaining and maximizing meetings, client loyalty, delivering exceptional client service, cross-selling, getting more work from existing clients, social networks and media, websites and search engine optimization, alternative fee arrangements, and maximizing business development for laterals. This program contains 8 separate business development modules, action worksheets that trigger participants to come up with personal action steps from each of the 8 programs, a template and tutorial for building a comprehensive personal business development plan, another worksheet and tutorial that contains best practices suggested by the faculty for making business development an ongoing sustainable habit. And when used with groups of lawyers, there's a leader's guide that provides step-by-step instructions for managing this process. There's also a user's guide that helps participants get the most out of the program. At this point, let's listen to examples of the hundreds of great ideas contained in this program.
Trade associations. This is the silver bullet that exists for law firm marketing. The real gold is in the small ones where there aren't other law firms or lawyers represented.
We've heard some really interesting statistics. The one that I always use is 5 to 8 contacts before you're even top of mind. And then there's another interesting one, 80% of all buying decisions take place between the 5th and 12th contact. So I always say the fortune is in the follow-up.
The people who give referrals to other professionals, 80% of the lawyers do a dozen a year and they get a dozen back. 20% of lawyers do 50 of those a year and they get 50 back.
One trick that somebody taught me a while ago when we were doing client interviews is literally the morning of your meeting, just doing a quick Google News search, you may find something that you may not have caught even if you did a lot of research leading up to the meeting.
The research that we've conducted with thousands of corporate counsel, if you can get to the point where you've built client loyalty, or what we call client allegiance, from a financial rewards perspective, what we found is an average of almost 20%, 19.5% rate premiums, and generally something in the neighborhood of 33 to 35% higher revenue than you would otherwise receive.
That's what I like to call the matchmaker midwife form of business development. They made sure everybody knew each other, and then when a deal happened, they were there to help deliver it.
A statistic I heard said that it takes about 6 to 12 months to create new business from an existing client, while it can take upwards of 24 months to develop relationships with a new client.
One thing that I really like to talk about is to create once and to publish or circulate as much as possible. So you can write a blog post and you can, repurpose that in different areas, whether you're doing an automatic repost to a firm's Facebook page, if you're sending out a Twitter message with appropriate hashtags so you're reaching that target audience.
I really think social networking is what you do in between face-to-face meetings, not in place of.
It really is all about just trying to understand the client's key drivers. Alternative fee arrangements need not be fancy mechanisms with algorithms, because if the client says, for example, I need some predictability in my fees, then you know that you can go into kind of a flat fee model. If the client says, I need to talk to you about the timing of the fees, then you can have a conversation about, leveling monthly payments or perhaps even phased payments, which can make a big difference to a client.
Where I've seen the most success is where a lateral is connected with the marketing or business development professionals at their potential firm in advance of starting. I really think it's important to understand that you have to do as much internal marketing as you do external marketing coming into a new firm.
You can plug into recruiting activities. You can plug into training activities. If a firm has a mentoring program, you can plug into that.
I designed this program to allow participants to engage deeply with the material. They will listen to the panelists on the recordings, see highlights pop up on their screens, review the material on their action worksheets, and then write personal action steps on those worksheets. They will constantly revise their personal business development plans, and then discuss the topic within an accountability group. Within the group, they'll make commitments to the group members and receive peer coaching. They will capture personal commitments made in the group meetings, and then each lawyer will go out and act on their commitments. Before the next group meeting, participants will listen to the new topic, and once back in with the group, they'll discuss the actions taken, discuss the new topic, and repeat the immersive process. CMOplaybook is unlike anything you've ever seen for helping lawyers become better rainmakers. With our program, you can learn and reinforce hundreds of new techniques from up to 28 experts. It comprehensively covers the major business development competencies. It's cost-effective as compared to personal one-on-one coaching. It can be run and managed internally, which can promote a major goal in most firms, which is to encourage an internal culture of business development. You can track results. It can be implemented at your own pace in your own way. And finally, it comes with many supportive materials. With CMOplaybook, you can transform your lawyers into exceptional rainmakers.